Hello and welcome to Patrick Come Lately Talk Radio. This is Stefan, your host, British by birth, American by choice. The Founding Fathers crafted some remarkable documents that led to the creation of a great country founded on liberty and self-reliance. I have lived in the Euro-socialist nightmare, and I'm doing what I can to return this country to the vision that the Founding Fathers gave us. We need to strive to rebuild that shining city on the hill, for without us, the world has nowhere to turn for freedom. For the next hour, I will be presenting news, views, and guests that help keep the true spirit of America alive. And yes, here we go again, another episode of Patrick Come Lately Talk Radio, another rip-roaring episode, got a lot to talk about. This is Stefan, your Patrick Come Lately. British by birth, but American by choice, and proud to be so. And we are broadcasting episode 330. For my live listeners, this is going to be a little different than what you originally heard. This is actually a re-recording, more network problems, different hotel, but still some network problems here, so I had to re-record the first part of the show. But obviously for listeners that listen via the rebroadcast or to the archives, you won't know the difference. Lots of things to talk about, but what I really wanted to start off with was some of the things going on around Donald Trump. We've seen that he dropped a lot in the polls, the left, and too many of the Republicans are crowing about that. They seem so happy about it. And later in the show, I will make a comment about some things Paul Ryan said tonight, which really disgusted me. But what also disgusts me is to see how the regressives are getting their way. And with the regressives, I mean the regressives on both sides of the aisle. How they're getting their way by grinding Donald into the ground. And how are they doing that? Well, pretty much every single word that he utters is twisted in some way into some evil meaning and is used to subvert the truth. They've decided the best way to attack or to beat Trump is to attack his platform and to make him out to be a nutcase. Well, he's far from a nutcase. He's a very clever person, and I think he will be able to show eventually that Hillary is wrong for this country, but it's going to be a hard struggle. He is going to have to work hard at this, and I hope that all his advisors will help him, because it's not easy. And I think one of the biggest thing is really two things that they're trying to do. They're obviously trying to rile Donald into getting riled up and saying something that he shouldn't, because he's a politician. He's not used to measuring every single word that he says against what may have been determined by some focus group that he should be saying. He speaks from the heart. He speaks as he should. And one of the reasons that I think so many people have decided that they want to support him is because he does not speak like a politician. He does speak openly. So thank goodness that he speaks openly. Now, sometimes he does say some stupid things, but I would rather have someone who is open and occasionally makes a gaffe than someone who's so cool and measured that they never really say anything because they're frightened of saying anything because they're a politician and they know that it could get used against them. And So what's the latest regressive ploy? Sorry about that little gap there. I was at a loss for words about what the left are doing here. I said there were two things. The other thing is that they're just, as I said before, they're just twisting everything that he says and making it almost impossible for him to say anything without it being used against him, even positive things, which is, it's so sad. And it isn't just the politicians doing it. If it were Hillary and her surrogates, you'd sort of say, well, you don't expect anything more. But it's the lamestream media. I catch Fox News Channel doing it occasionally, but definitely the rest of the lamestream media. I mean, they're just totally untrustworthy. They're not reporters anymore. They're opinionators, and they are pushing they're pushing the left-wing agenda. You can see how the left have totally infiltrated the lamestream media, whether it's newspapers, whether it's magazines, whether it's the radio, whether it's the TV. All of them are just so totally in the tank for Hillary, and it's just absolutely disgusting because they're not telling the truth. They're twisting the truth to fit their agenda, and it is really, really very disappointing. Later in the show, I'm going to talk about an alternative to the lamestream media in a written form, a magazine, a Whistleblower from WND.com. Think about it. It's one way of getting good information. So what's happened most recently? And I think if you've been watching the TV, listening to the radio, you will know that Donald Trump, I think it was yesterday, gave a speech. And he was talking about how Hillary shouldn't get elected. And one of the reasons she shouldn't get elected is because she's against the Second Amendment. Now, every so often she'll come and say, no, I'm not against the Second Amendment. Well, I've played on this show, a clip which was secretly recorded where she very clearly showed that she is against the Second Amendment. But he was saying that, and then he said, but, she shouldn't get elected. And he said words to the effect that the Second Amendment people would see to it that she didn't get elected. Now, to me, that was very obvious that he was saying the NRA, people who support the Second Amendment, are a large voting bloc. They will vote against Hillary, and that will include a number of Democrats, hopefully, that see the light. And let's face it, someone who lies so much shouldn't be anywhere near the White House. But anyway, let's go back to what Donald Trump said. So as I said, to me it was very obvious what he was saying. There is a large voting bloc. Well, of course, the lamestream media, the regressives, they just jumped on that, and they said Donald was inciting violence, the assassination of Hillyer. Folks, it is just sickening that people would even stoop to such depths to do these things. Just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, and they they take something like that and twist it to their own ends. Unbelievable. And you've probably also heard about the baby controversy. A week ago or so, 10 days ago or so, he at a campaign rally, he was joking because there was a baby somewhere close to the front, and at a certain point the baby woke up and was being quite loud, and he was joking about it, saying, I don't mind. But after a few minutes it was obvious that it was interrupting and also probably annoying people near it. So he very nicely just said, if you don't mind, take the baby outside, calm it down, and then come back when when the babies come and not screaming so much. Well, the mother has been on Fox News Channel on a couple of shows and sort of said, yeah, it was totally understandable. She wasn't offended by the fact that he asked it, and he was very nice about it, and he was making jokes, and Trump himself says, he was making jokes about it, and they play clips. He wasn't nasty about it. But of course, what does the lamestream media do? The lamestream media says, right, headlines in the newspapers: Donald Trump throws baby or kicks baby out of arena. I mean, yeah, you can. So, you can take almost anything that Donald Trump says and you can twist it into something negative, and that's all they're doing. And that saddens me because, as I said, if the surrogates do that, okay, you can take it with a grain of salt because it's coming from politicians. But when it comes from journalists, they're supposed to be telling the truth. But yet when they twist it so much, I sort of say, is there any hope for our country? It makes me very sad, because if you've got that sort of thing going on, are you, can you have an honest election? And I'd say at this point, almost not. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for Donald Trump, and I don't think he should measure every word that he says. He should, he really should just speak his mind, and obviously shouldn't say hateful things, but just saying things the way he sees it is much better. And that's why we chose it. So, I don't know, folks. What's the world coming to? Well, it gets worse. Because we've always been told by the left, leave families out of it. Right? We shouldn't bring families into it. But that only holds true when you're talking about left-wing politicians or candidates and their families. If you're talking about a Republican, somebody from the right wing, then that law doesn't apply. Just this week, there was a report. Now, in a way, I'm glad to say this report got lost in all the noise around the Second Amendment kerfuffle. So this one didn't get much legs. But just the fact that it was brought up is despicable, and this too sickens and saddens me that people are stooping to this level. So what was happening? Reports surfaced that was attacking Ivanka Trump. Now, Ivanka Trump's a very articulated, beautiful, and very successful businesswoman. So if they're attacking her, talk about a war on women. It's not the Republicans. The Democrats do that. She was attacked because supposedly her company, she's a very successful businesswoman, she has a fashion company, very, very successful, but her company is associated with another company. Okay, so, I mean, this is I don't know whether they're a vendor or she licenses or franchises or vice versa, but anyway, they're associated. And that other company has the temerity not to offer paid maternity leave to its employees. Now, apparently it follows the law. It does follow the law, and it provides 12 weeks of unpaid leave, unpaid maternity leave. But that's what the law requires. Now, as I said, we can't trust our reporters because, of course, the reporters forgot some very important points. And one of them was this fact that the other company does follow the law and provides the 12 weeks, but it's unpaid leave. Now, they didn't mention that. So this shows, again, how biased and how awful these people are. But the other thing that I think is far more important, and, well, even before I go there, so they are attacking Ivanka because her company is associated with this other company. So now, because someone in your family is running for political office, you've got to go through and vet everybody that you do business with, that you talk to. I mean, it's almost as if you say, I was standing in the elevator with this guy, and he's a racist, and he spoke to me, and I didn't turn around or jump out of the elevator or whatever because a racist spoke to me. You may not even have known that he was a racist. In business, companies don't ask other companies, well, do you give your employees paid maternity leave? So, I mean, this is just absolutely disgusting. But, like I said, I think the most important part was left out. And this, to me, is just distorting the truth, lying to the public that's reading this article, because they conveniently forgot to mention that Ivanka's own company actually gives 8 weeks of paid maternity leave to its female employees, which is far more than is required by the law. So Ivanka is actually doing a good thing for women. But they forget that. They try and twist it again to make it seem as if Ivanka and the Trumps are anti-women. Just absolutely despicable, absolutely disgusting. And I wish just the idea that this report came out should be enough to disqualify any of the people from the left and vote them out. I wish, folks, that you would. Okay, folks, quick time for a commercial. I will be back shortly.
You can lose 10, 20, 30 pounds or more with Maximum Slim's first ever rapid weight loss guarantee. Today, you get Maximum Slim, an advanced fat and carb blocker, absolutely risk-free. The all-natural ingredients in Maximum Slim are a powerful weight loss combination. The Maximum Slim formula turns your body into a fat-burning furnace that supercharges your weight loss. Advanced fat and carb blocker stops the breakdown of sugar so your body doesn't store it as fat. Today, you'll get both of these products absolutely risk-free with no obligation. Only pay shipping. There are no expensive meal plans or exhausting DVDs. Just take Maximum Slim twice a day. It's fast, simple, and now it's guaranteed. Look, you can start losing weight today or not. Go back to your high school days and wear your favorite jeans again. Guaranteed. Call now and get both weight loss formulas free. Call 800-451-0228. 800-451-0228. That's 800-451-0228.
Doc, you gotta give it to me straight.
All right.
'Cause I'm dying here. I mean, take a look at this letter from the IRS.
Oh, my.
This is killing me, Doc. I tell you, it's killing me.
Cheer up, my friend.
Huh?
The tax doctor is here. My diagnosis tells me that you're going to be just fine.
Really?
The tax doctor will not rest until we find you the best possible tax settlement.
Really, Doc?
Guaranteed.
If the IRS claims you owe them $10,000 or more in business or personal back taxes, call a tax doctor right now. We could save you up to 75% if you qualify. Guaranteed or you pay nothing. Call right now for free details.
800-917-8546. 800-917-8546. 800-917-8546. That's 800-917-8546.
You're listening to Patrick Come Lately Talk Radio, broadcast on the internet, and also available at archives.patrickcomelately.us, a proud member of the Red Nation Rising Radio Network. And folks, this is Stefan back from that quick commercial break. And just a reminder, I mentioned in that station ID just now, Red Nation Rising Radio Network. This is one of the sources where you can get good information. We can't trust the journalists on the lamestream media, so you have to look hard for honest reporting and even honest opinions, right, without twisting the truth. And you can get that at Red Nation Rising Radio. So check it out. Lots of good hosts on there, including yours truly, obviously, amongst a bevy of very, very good hosts. And I mentioned earlier as well, the Whistleblower magazine. Talk a bit more about that later in the show. but that from WND.com, also another source of unbiased information. So, if we're going to be attacking families, if we're going to be attacking people, maybe we should do it back, right? And I don't think Donald Trump needs to do it because everybody's using that against him, but his surrogates can do it, and I can do it. So I want to start with Hillier.